They're just horrific scenes coming out of Syria of an apparent chemical attack, and they've drawn international condemnation. The question is now, well, what action should be taken against Syria's Assad regime to prevent attacks like these from happening again?
This is yet another example of the Assad regime's brutality and brazen disregard for its own people and for its legal obligations not to use these weapons. If they are found to be responsible, the regime and its backers, including Russia, must be held to account.
Russia now firing back this morning, calling reports of the attack a hoax and warning of serious consequences.
I'd like to begin by condemning the heinous attack on innocent Syrians with banned chemical weapons. It was an atrocious attack. It was horrible. You don't see things like that, as bad as the news is around the world. You just don't see those images. We are studying that situation extremely closely. We are meeting with our military and everybody else, and we'll be making some major decisions over the next 24 to 48 hours. We are very concerned when a thing like that can happen. This is about humanity. We're talking about humanity, and it can't be allowed to happen.
This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth with breaking news today as the United States is now on the brink of a war with Syria, all based on a false pretense, a false flag attack. So in this video, we're going to cut through the lies and point the fingers at the real enemy, Israel and the United States themselves. It was only 10 days ago that Donald Trump stumped his advisors by announcing that the United States would be withdrawing from Syria. He said, "Let the other people take care of it now. Very soon, we're coming out. We're going to get back to our country where we belong." And right on cue, following this announcement, we're supposed to believe that Assad launched a chemical attack on his own people? Because that makes perfect sense, right? As Trump seeks way out of Syria, new attack pulls him back in. Days after President Trump said he wanted to pull the United States out of Syria, Syrian forces hit a suburb of Damascus with bombs that rescue workers said unleashed toxic gas. Within hours, images of dead families sprawled in their homes threatened to change Mr. Trump's calculus on Syria, possibly drawing him deeper into an intractable Middle Eastern war that he hoped to leave. Trump then took to Twitter to say, "Many dead, including women and children, in mindless chemical attack in Syria. Area of atrocity is in lockdown and encircled by Syrian army, making it completely inaccessible to outside world. President Putin, Russia, and Iran are responsible for backing animal Assad. Big price to pay. Open area immediately for medical help and verification. Another humanitarian disaster for no reason whatsoever. Sick." Are you really buying that? Are people out there really believing that this is the case? Well, they believed it when it was Saddam Hussein's weapons of mass destruction following 9/11, when they invaded Afghanistan, launching an all-out war for the battle in the Middle East. So it's easy to see this scenario will play itself out all over again in yet another lie designed to manipulate the American people into accepting a war with Syria under the guise of a humanitarian mission. But this is certainly coming as no surprise to the Russians, Syria's ally, as they have been warning for weeks about this exact scenario playing out. Russian claims that US is planning a false flag chemical attack is a distraction, Pentagon says. This was released on March 13th. On Tuesday, Russian officials claimed that militants are preparing to use chemical agents in Syria and intend to put the blame on the government of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, according to TASS, a state-run news agency in Russia. Russian Army General Valery Gerasimov said that the United States is planning to then use the chemical attack as a way to furnish the so-called evidence of the alleged mass civilian deaths through the fault of the Syrian government and the Russian leadership supporting it. As a countermeasure, Washington plans to deliver a missile and bomb strike against Damascus's government districts. Well, they call that first part to a T, so what are they saying now? Russia blames Israel for strikes on Syrian airbase. Syria and its most powerful ally, Russia, blamed Israel for striking an airbase in the war-torn country on Monday, following a suspected chemical gas attack that drew condemnation from world powers. Russia's defense minister claimed 2 Israeli F-15 warplanes launched airstrikes on the T4 base in central Syria from Lebanese territory. Syrian state media said that a number of people were killed or injured in the strike and cited a military source blaming Israel for the military action. Ladies and gentlemen, this proxy war has been kicked into overdrive, and I can't stress this enough, that they are trying to manipulate you into accepting an all-out war with Syria under the guise of a humanitarian mission. My hopes of seeing a non-interventionist foreign policy emerge has all but completely faded away, as the war drums are now beating louder than ever. I strongly encourage you to get up to speed on this issue by using the search feature on my YouTube channel and typing in the word Syria. And there you'll find my extensive coverage on this important subject matter. Please, ladies and gentlemen, do your research, turn off the TV, and get the straight up facts before openly accepting this war with Syria, which I've been warning about for years. And here we are on the brink of what will become the biggest war in the history of the Middle East, all based off of a lie. Please share this video far and wide, as we need to counter this propaganda now as much as we possibly can. And I want to remind you that this channel is only made possible with your continued support by donating at pressfortruth.ca/donate. I'm going up against a massive propaganda spin machine here, and I need all the help I can get. And be sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube, as I'm going to be covering this more as it continues to develop. So check the links in the description for all the sources to this video and to where you can also contribute by donating or by joining as a PFT member or a PFT patron. Thanks for watching, my friends. Stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth.